I had some questions about two of the agenda items, so I'll just give you all the questions and then hopefully you can answer them. The first one is about the $300,000 bond for evaluation of properties. I'm kind of curious about three things. One, what are we looking for? You know, what properties are going to be evaluated? What will they be evaluated for? Second is who's going to administer their funds? Is this going to go to the redevelopment agency or the Borough Office of Planning and Zoning, or is it going to be contracted out? And the third, what will the funds actually be used for? Right? To hire contractors, to hire employees, to hire engineers or other professionals, purchase supplies, that sort of thing. I'm just curious how it's going to be used. The second agenda item is Resolution 19140, hiring Calvo Consulting. And I'm just wondering about the contract. Is it a flat rate or hourly? How many hours are expected? And is this, are we actually hiring, are we expecting one individual to provide the services, or are there a number of individuals that are going to provide the services? How will it relate to the current infrastructure? Will this person be supervising borough employees, kind of be lateral to the parking department? And then lastly, is this an interim thing, or is this a potentially permanent engagement?
I will answer the last of your three questions. It is an interim arrangement that was discussed in our workshop session. So it is intended to be a brief interlude. So it is not a permanent situation. With respect to number one and number two, I'll turn it over to our business administrator to give a quick run through on those.
Thank you, Mayor. With respect to ordinance 2019-21, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the questions were what properties will be evaluated, who will oversee it, and how will those funds be used. So the expected purpose, or at least the properties that are expected to be evaluated, are all the municipal properties that are presently owned. So that includes this building, 90 Monmouth Street, the senior citizen building over on 80 Shrewsbury, and the property over at DPW. Those are the three main highlighted properties that will be evaluated. As to who will oversee it, ultimately the mayor and council and myself as the administrator will oversee it. But the envisioned purpose of the redevelopment agency, and as set forth in their application to the local finance board and in the concept plan that was proposed to the governing body, the redevelopment agency would take that on as one of their first priorities for evaluating and putting the wheels in motion for that process. And the use of the funds are primarily for professionals that include engineers, appraisers, planners, architects, and legal team. I believe that answered all those questions. Is that correct, Mayor?
That's correct.
With respect to Resolution 2019-140, for the contract with Tom Kalu Consulting, the questions were how many hours, the rate of pay, and in terms of the hierarchy or chain of command. The proposal is for Mr. Kalu, one individual, not a firm or a team of people, but rather one individual who will be serving as the parking director, as the mayor said, on an interim basis. So in the hierarchy of things, he would oversee the parking utility. He would answer to the DPU director and myself, and his rate of pay is stipulated in the contract at $10,750 a month. It is on a month-to-month basis. There is no long-term arrangement or agreement other than simply a month-to-month agreement. And with respect to the hours worked, it would be 30 hours per month. I'm sorry, 30 hours per week.
Okay, thank you.